and tell, and that was right. And so the following, after I graduated, I went to the University of Houston, attended the School of Theater there, and that's kind of where I really cut my teeth as an actor, because in high school I was involved a little bit in the theater department, but not much, but just enough to know that I wanted to really dig in. And so I went to school in Houston after that, and shortly during and after college, I started doing a lot of local theater. And when people ask me, how do I get in, how do I become a voice actor? I go, well, let's rewind and go, all the way back to the beginning. Because for me, there are a lot of different ways to succeed, I think, and to try to make it in this business. And everyone's going to have a different story. I have friends who started out, they were comedians, and just it naturally branched into another sort of performing venue for them. There's guys that are working in Hollywood today that started out as stuntmen. There are people that were recruited off the sets. I know of one guy that I think he was in the catering department, and he looked like the type they wanted for a certain character who didn't have a lot of lines, and so they felt like it was a safe choice. But most of us who are doing this for a living, we started out very early really wanting to do it for a living and really taking the craft seriously. So, we were doing theater. Eventually, I did get recruited by a company in Houston called ADV Films, who some of you know if you're a longtime fan of anime and you know about the industry. And I started working with them I was at the late 1990s. I hope that doesn't date you, but yes, I'm as old as you probably think I am. No. But yeah, that was the first time when I got the feeling like, hey, I could really not only just do this, but like maybe make a living at it. And not because it was lucrative. I mean, doing voice work as an anime actor, the voice work itself, the sessions aren't like hugely lucrative. But if you do enough of them, that's less rail car shop jobs you have to do, and catering jobs. And I was catering, and I was working for a moving company, and I was doing just about anything I could to make a living and pay my bills and not go into debt, while I was also working theater at night and doing voiceover work during the day, and dreaming about maybe someday being in film and television. But my goal as a 21-year-old was to be a company member of a regional theater by the time I was 31, and I failed, and I became a film actor instead. So, and not because I failed at it, it's just that the film acting sort of became more important to me. So I think if I had decided to only do theater, I probably could still be doing it exclusively, but it's tough to do both. So what else?
Who's got the next question? Who's got it?
Young man up front with the orange shirt.
Let's go to you. Here, I'm bringing the mic to you.
My name's John Treadwell, and I got a question for you. What's your favorite season from The Walking Dead and favorite episode, and why?
Yeah, well, good questions. Favorite season of mine from The Walking Dead, favorite episode, and why? Season 6 was really good for me as an actor on that show. They had me, I think I did 7 or 8 episodes. I was really busy. I got that work with Melissa, where Tobin and Carol sort of briefly connect, right? So that was really great for me. 7 was a bit of a downer in terms of my involvement in the show. Season 8 was really great for me, particularly the last episode that I appeared in, which was trying to avoid spoiler alerts, but it was probably my favorite episode of my entire run on the show. So, and why? Probably because I like being busy as an actor. I don't like kind of sitting on the sidelines. I like to be involved in the action, and so anytime I'm involved in the action, I'm pretty happy. And that episode, that one in particular, are you caught up on the show? Yeah. So that episode in particular was a great one for me, and I was kind of all over the map in terms of the show, and it was just an iconic episode, I think, for the show and for me personally. So, and I got to do Talking Dead afterwards, so that made it kind of cool as well.
How was that?
It was
give us some background on the Talking Dead, Chris Hardwick and all that. So yeah.
Oh, Chris is he's as sort of funny and cool and goofy as he seems on on the show. It's really interesting. They do a great job of sort of preparing for your for your appearance. And the producer will call you a week before and sort of kind of chat with you about. They want to find out what you want to talk about, and so they kind of work that into a kind of a rough sketch of how the show's going to go, and then we chat. We get on the show and we just it goes by really quickly though. You'd be surprised. I was a little. I don't want to say I was nervous, but I was just thinking I'm a little apprehensive. This is a big audience in front of a live show. I could really make a fool of myself here. But it was a very supportive atmosphere, and it was fun talking about the show, and I got to do that one with Alana, who's a lot of fun to hang around with. The big surprise for me is I thought I would be kind of a surprise guest that doesn't show up till halfway